Hello, in this video I will show you UI of our server site, where as you can see it's a web application. In this case it's application for game developers. On the first tab you can see dashboard tab, where you can find basic informations about uploaded games like bonuses that is basically income from websites that can pay extra money for certain things in the games or promotions or so. The next number is from in-game ads, which is basically income from the standard ads. The next is affiliate traffic income, which is traffic from you will place a link into the game and the user will click at the link and is redirected to a certain website or so, where he can make any revenue or so you can have share of it. So basically it's income from users acquisition, and the last one is total income from the game. You can check that in various time frames like yesterday, week, month and so. All you will see today is just showcase presentations. Anyway, I do that on a real account I use for development of some systems and games. So let's dive in. The first part we can look at the incomes, because that's something all are interested in. So in a game from ads you can see general performance of AD systems we use within the CPMS tab, and you see that for any country and in a selected time period. Anyway, if you want to look at incomes generated by your games, there's a tab incomes, where you can check that by date or by game or by web, because as you can know, GameArter can be used for distribution of games on various gaming websites, and then you have detailed informations about incomes on the website, AD impressions on the websites and gameplays. And once you want to be paid, then you will just visit the billing tab and upload an invoice here. Anyway, the more interesting tab is the reports tab, where you can check basic informations about each game or accumulated informations about all games, like in how many cases the download started and in what percentage it was completed, how many AD impressions was displayed and what CPM was reached. When these informations are very important related to setting of ads, and then thinking about the optimal file size, because as you may know, the higher the file size of the game is, the longer time for the download is required and more users can leave the game within this time. I basically wrote a study about that. It's 4 years ago. Anyway, it's still relevant, so you can read more in this report that I will place link on that to the description. Next step within the report section is a users tab, where GameArter is again a solution for management of users as well, because we offer authentication system, data management and so on. And here you can see how many registered users is in each game, and you can also check what data they have in the database. Next step is a errors report, because GameArter automatically tracks errors occurred during the runtime. So you can just check, for example, a Toxicity game and see that there was any type of errors, right? Undefined is not an object, and that occurred 696 times in these selected browsers. So actually it looks like there's some kind of problem in the in the Safari 13 on Mac OS in the game. Back to the report again, where next section is distribution section, because again GameArter can be used for distribution of games on any website or store. So on this tab you can see on how many websites any game is published and in what setting. because you can configure games running for each website individually. Next step is Analytics tab, where you can open Google Analytics dashboards from the connected Google Analytics with the games uploaded to the GameArter. Anyway, let's look to the most important sections and its project sections, within which you can either create a new project or look or manage some already created project. Like in my case, it can be a toxicity here. I can look inside. Displays informations about existing project versions. Like in this case, it's version 1 only. Anyway, you can modify any number of versions right from the client SDK, where you will just implement our SDK into your selected engine like Unity, and then you can configure a version right in the game engine, export it to the cloud, and then the new version is displayed here. For each such version you can define various configurations and setup, like for example events, which is kind of a smart event, where in this case there are defined events like days, jobs done, hints, and so. For example, if you will have a shooter game, you can define event kill and then set simply leaderboard for the kill event by activating simple checkbox and define this is leaderboard kills, that is counted on the base of number achieved, and it's either permanent counting or one-shot counting, which basically means how it's calculated. Yeah, you can find more information about that in the simpler documentations, or of course there are detailed documentations we have, and there's also a chat window on the bottom right. In this similar way, you can manage also achievements that we call badges, where you will simply define any badge name like AAB, and you can set value where, let's say, when the value of this day's event will reach 200, this AAB badge will be released automatically on the background, and it can use any image that can be either from the predefined images that you can find here, or there's possible to use own custom images. And for simpler structure, there's possible to divide the badges into collections. So this will be the event tab. Next tab is packages, that is basically used for in-game stores and in-game purchases. GameArter offers various types of in-game stores that are generated automatically based on the mode of SDK in which it runs. There are many informations about that in the documentations. You can find here right in the tab. If I will open that, you can see it's for Unity, HTML5, construct, and other engines. More interesting tab is More tab, that can be used for cutscenes. I'll show you example of that during a demo preview of a game that actually we can look at it right now via the test the game button. To show that, I'll open that in incognito window. So first, yeah, this is the general gameplay there. I must agree with some things. There's set a pre-roll ad that can be configured, of course, same as the gameplay there, as you see that now, like a branding or so. But anyway, there's also of course possible to use custom layout screens, so you can use, for example, each individual loading screen for each website. GameArter also automatically use an authentication service via just command, email, and password, and then one-click sign up or sign in via the social sites. Anyway, I want to show you the cutscene, so I'll continue as guest, where I have no data saved into the database, so I should see the cutscenes like here. So this was the cutscene. I'll close the game and we'll go back to the merged scene. So we just seen a cutscene that was loaded from YouTube link, and it was a video with this identifier. The next step is DB data, which is very handy for testing because you can set individual currency state in the game and of course any state of value like days. When I will change that to 50, then I can see that beside the change of the value itself, there was also released a new batch that is released if the event value exceeds 51. And the last step I would like to show you is first upload within these sections, and it's just for uploading files for each defined version. Next step within the project sections is basic settings, where we can configure basic informations about the project, and the important part is the Google Analytics Tracking ID, where you will just place UI tag and then you can see all standard data right in your Google Analytics. More important tab is Web or GameArter tab, where you just see possible informations you can place, and it's basically this GameArter you see. As I mentioned, there are possibility of many variations. There's basically a blog post about that you can find here, and I will place also the link to the descriptions where you can find what all can be modified, like branding, state, button bar, and also there's possible to use custom design. For example, if you want to run a game on any different website that requires exclusivity or own visual, it's possible, and the benefit of that is that you have still one game, one build, and one code, one setup, so you manage that from one place, and you have on numerous websites where all looks different, which is possible just because GameArter has all settings in the cloud instead of on the client side. So back to the GameArter itself showcase and its tab in the left bar. First is controls, game instructions, discussions, where you can talk with players, profile, of course, leaderboard, which is basically just a visual defined within the events tab, leaderboard line, sharing, reporting bugs and so. And once the game is loaded, there's also one more tab that is for achievements I mentioned previously within the events tab already. So I'll just show you it right in the player, where the system just loaded the user data and displayed batch tab here, where you can see which badges was released already, which not, and in what state I have that, and also the collections of the badges. I think I can close this tab and just say for that all the data within the game player can be set and customized. You can also display or hide any tab and so. The next step to make it faster is Google Play. It is used for setup of games targeted for the Google Play platform, and it's optional setup. Most developers don't use that because they only want to publish games on the web. Next step is publish and update, where you can just select versions, set share that you want to pay for promotion of your game, size and so, and confirm that you are authorized to publish the game. The individual customizations tab is basically for any customizations you want to make and that is not possible right from the system, so you can write us and we will make it for you. And the last step is update block, within which you can write development posts and also make polls, like let users vote whether they want, for example, one car or another car or anything related to that. So these are all the main informations you should know about this system, or at least its UI cloud part. And I can of course show the remaining tabs like updates distributions, that basically informs about games that will be published in the next days. There's support and community sections you can join in on our Slack. There's documentations you can use during the development, like I already showed that. You can find here the features for individual SDKs and so. There are also blog posts and you can follow us on the Twitter. This video, together with the others, you can also watch on our YouTube channel. So thank you for watching and have a nice day. Looking forward to you in the GameArter.